right, ladies and gentlemen. So, as I said a minute ago, Robin canceled on me last minute. She had something come up. It's okay. She's busy. She's doing this as a just free for us, so I can't be too mad about her giving us all that information. So, she said she can't do it next week. It might be the week after. It's okay. I had Eric scheduled for next week. Him and I are going to talk about investing. So, stick around for that if you're excited about it. Next thing is, so this is going to be very organic. Eric is out of town and he just got some pictures back on some of his houses. And he called me. He's like, hey, man, can you do me a favor? I don't want to miss this weekend because that's when a lot of people like to come see houses. I don't want to miss this weekend. Can you throw them in the MLS for me? I was like, yeah, man, not a problem. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It was something I needed to do anyway. And I'm extremely ill prepared to do that. So you're going to see me literally walk through the entire process and how I find things and what I'm looking for. And it really doesn't take too long if you know what you're doing. And first game we're going to play, does anybody know what mountain that is behind me? Anybody? I did it for fun. And this is it's Camelback Mountain in Phoenix. It actually kind of splits Phoenix and Scottsdale. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I actually climbed that mountain with my wife on Christmas Eve. It was a lot of fun. They actually drag a Christmas tree up there on the top. And it was really funny because going up that mountain, I was like, come on. My brother-in-law, my sister, you know, we all grew up here in town. And she married a guy and moved out to Phoenix. And he is I want to say 4-time Ironman, maybe 5-time. He's run 5 Ironman. And he's like, yeah, man, you can climb that. No big deal. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm in. And he was going to go with us. And the parking was so bad and it was just a hot mess. So he just dropped us off and he's like, just go. You'll be fine. And I'll be honest, it wasn't the end of the world. My wife was bitching like halfway through it. I'm dragging her up the mountain. I'm like, we're doing this. He's like, oh, yeah, you can do it in like 2 or 3 hours. It took us 4. But it was really kind of cool. I've got some cool pictures from the top of that thing. So if you're ever out there, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, I've definitely done worse, but fun little thing if you're ever out there. I'm going there this weekend. My nephew's getting baptized. So I'm literally flying out Saturday morning. I'll be back Sunday night. So look it up.
Love that area.
Yeah, look it up if you're ever out there. At least we're getting out of the heat. Okay, so today, how to put something in the MLS with little to no preparation. You're definitely, so there's going to be a couple things that are a little bit different because this is an investment property of Eric's. It's going to be a little bit more rudimentary than we would necessarily do with the real big projects or anything like that, but you definitely do want to give it a good effort. Again, you have to remember when you put something into the MLS, you automatically populate it to a lot of different places. It goes to Zillow, Realtor, and all that kind of stuff. So everybody's going to see what we're doing right here, and we want to make sure that we do it right because any little slip up can actually make it look like a bad listing, and so you don't want to do that. I'll probably come back and take a little bit more creative ease when I have a minute to think about it. But like I said, this is going to be last minute, so this is actually 100% how you put a listing in there. So I am going to share my screen with you guys, and I want to show you my entire desktop. So everybody see my desktop now? Wonderful. Thank you so much. If you ever see me kind of wander around a little bit, it's because I'm trying to move stuff because it's got all y'all's pictures and everything in here, so it gets a little frustrating. So first things first, before you can list anything, you need to do a handful of things. The first thing you need to do is take professional photos. So Eric had professional photos taken. They came in yesterday, and we're going to be putting this up. I think it's a great little flip. This thing's super cute. But you need to have professional photos. You cannot do this quickly if you do not already have photos. I will also say this, Eric, as an investor, it is prudent for us to try and save as much money as possible. We do not cut corners when it comes to photos, guys. You can get photos taken. Very, very simple thing to do. You need to go out and find a professional photographer. There's a couple of apps that I like to use when I'm looking for professional photographers. If you don't already have one, I'm trying to think of the name of the app right now. Sorry. Thumbtack. That's the name of the app. So what's nice about Thumbtack is you can hire people to do anything you want. You don't have to download the app. I have the app because I'm usually thinking about it when I'm somewhere. So you just go into photography and you can search exactly hire a pro. real estate photographers, 78248. I don't know where I got that from, but it doesn't matter. So boom, right here, it shows all the guys and exactly what they charge. It is okay for you to go in here and say, hey, look, Skyline Photography. I've used this guy before, actually. My location. Do I need drone photography? That's always very helpful if you have a lot of land or something really cool on the property. Most of the time I don't do that. Photo type, interior, exterior, whatever it is, and tell him. And the cool thing is when you go through all of this, it's going to send it to him and he's going to say, hey, look, I noticed that you have a budget of whatever, typically only for small jobs, $200 to $300. I see that you need photos of the interior, exterior, and all that stuff. But when you're done, it says, hey, do you want to send it, that exact quote, to some other people? And it'll pop up these other people in there. And so you can send that thing out to like 4 or 5 people and they all come back and quote you. And then you can take the best. And guys, remember, you're hiring somebody. You can ask them for, can I see some of your other photos? Have you ever shot photos in this area? Have you ever worked with investors? Have you ever worked with this? Have you ever worked with high-end property? Okay. All of that can come up. And it's the same thing for a videographer. You can do that too, right? Real estate video production. I mean, it's all in here, and I really like this because you can send it out. You can explore new people. It's great. I don't know where Eric got these photos from. All I know is I've got photos, so that's great. The second thing that you're going to want to do before you start punching things in the MLS is you need to go measure the rooms. Eric called me yesterday when I was out driving around. I said, yeah, not a problem, man. And I jumped into my car. I was driving, and I was kind of near at least this one. And so I ran over there and I measured the rooms. So, and I paid attention to what's going on in the house. I should have had some other things with me, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I just didn't have it with me. The way I measure rooms is with an app called RoomScan Pro. This thing is super slick. What you do is you go through there, and I use that by touching walls, and you literally walk to this wall and put your phone on the wall and wait a half second, your phone will buzz. Then you walk to this wall, wait a half second, the phone will buzz. And as you can see, you get like an entire floor plan. I don't actually make the floor plan because it kind of takes a little bit longer. I just say don't join rooms. But when I'm done, it tells me right here that this room is 12.8 square meters. Okay. It will also, I wonder if they have more photos in here. They really don't. I can't tell because this thing's in the way. It'll tell you per room, and it's great. I love it because it literally is room by room by room, and it'll give you the exact dimensions because in Sabor, they want to know the dimensions. Okay. The last thing that I would tell you guys to look for would be, let me see if I've got this in here. And I just didn't have one of these with me, but if you do not have one, here we go, is you need to have something to write down. Now, I didn't have this with me, so I took a lot of pictures so I would remember. But I'm going to get this put up on the website for you guys. I have this little form that I take with me. I don't know why it's rendering so weird right now. But which way does the home face? What year was it built? And I go fill all of this stuff out as we're going through it. As I walk the house, especially if I'm talking to a client, I'm going to be sitting here checking all of this off because you're going to see in a minute, it's very helpful to have all of this written down. Now, obviously, I did this on the fly, so I didn't have it written down, and I'm actually not going to submit it today until I talk to Eric because I want to make sure I saw what I saw because you don't want to put any false information in there, okay? So you need to write down what's going on with the house, and you'll see. So those are the 3 things you really need to do before you even get to this point that we're at right now. And the point that we're at right now is putting this into the MLS. So first things first, you're going to go into your MLS, log in, and you're going to go to listings up here and add a new listing. It's going to say, Colin, you were drafting one. That was for a video I did, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm just going to click add a new listing. I'm going to continue. All right. Step 1, single family residential. As y'all saw, you know, if it's a condo or whatever, you need to change that up. Number 2, how do you want to enter the listing data? Interesting question. When you put certain things in the MLS, they are considered to be true, and you need to explain how you got that information. The most popular is to get it from the tax data, okay? That is going to be the most popular way to do that because now the county is responsible for the square footage, for this, for that. If you change those numbers, you need to say, hey, I had a professional appraiser measure the house. We had this going on, whatever it is. you need to make sure that you account for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it from the tax data. You can pull it from a previous MLS listing. This is going to be a very bad idea because it has been renovated. Okay. Eric moved a wall. He did some other stuff. I don't want anything from that previous time in there, or I can manually list it all. The best thing I like to do is the tax data. So where do we get tax data? Anybody? Anybody? No? So any county that you're in, guys, the county is who taxes the property. You just type in that county, Bexar County Appraisal District. This is in Bexar County. And you're going to go to property search. You can click there or there, depending on how they're set up in Google. But it's really pretty easy. All I want to do is I want to look at the, where's the property search? They just changed their website. Oh, here it is. Property search. Okay. So the address on this house is 343 Cherrywood. So all I'm going to do is look that up, and I'm going to leave this up for a while. Cherrywood, I don't remember if it's one word or two. Bingo. So 346 in Live Oak and 26 Flips owns the LLC. So this is where we get the data from it. So I'm going to go back to Sabor, and I'm going to put in the address, which is 343 Cherrywood, and it is in Bexar County. Oh, I can't see again because y'all are. Let me click next. Oh, is this it? Now, notice the difference here, guys. On Bexar County, it says the owner's name is 26 Flips. But from this data, which is obviously a little bit older, it's telling the previous one. I don't care right now. Yes, that is the one. Sometimes you'll have 3 or 4 that you need to kind of clean up. The one thing you will want to check is the CAM number. So this one ends in 0110. And if I go look at the CAN number over here, 0110. Okay, so yes, now I know I have the right house, and now it's going to explain to everybody else, like, yeah, I got the tax data from here, and it's going to fill in some gaps for you. So what's nice is I don't have to do the area. Okay, sometimes you have to tell it what area of town it is. I don't have to do that because it knows that. It knows the MapsCo grid number. It knows the list. Well, it doesn't know the list price. I got to put that in. So Eric asked me to list this house at 239,999. Oops. Come on. Okay, street number, street direction. Guys, is it East Cherrywood, West Cherrywood, city, state, zip, county, blah, 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 blah. It's got all of that in there. Multiple county tax numbers. No, this isn't a single county. That tends to be in very rural places where you might get taxed from 2 separate counties. That happens if you have, if you go to school in one county and then, but the actual house is in another one. Sometimes that happens. Usually in the cities, that's not a big deal. And listing agent is me. So ta-da, we got, man, this little thing is, all right. So we got all of this wonderful stuff, and we just hit save and continue. And I'm glad we got a couple ladies here to help me with some aesthetic stuff. Kevin, nothing against you, buddy, but I just don't think you're going to be able to help with it. All right, so type. It is a single family detached. Guys, if you don't remember what those are, go look at your book. Garden patio, you know, are the ones that have like 0 lot lines, manufactured, modular. Difference between manufactured and modular, the other way, by the way, guys, is manufactured means the house was built offsite and brought in. A modular home means the parts of the house, like the wall was built, like all 4 walls were built offsite, and then they come put it together on the land. So it's a little bit different. Townhomes are all connected. So look, it already has the legal description in here. So Live Oak Village, JD, is what came off the tax record. The common name, we're going to look that up because I don't really know. And we'll see what it says. What are my options here? Live Oak Village would be the common name. Okay. See how that was pretty simple for me? I just used the tax data. The legal descriptions already do. Instructions. If it's kind of tricky to get to, you want to put some instructions, guys, you can just use Google Maps. That's what I do a lot of time. A lot of times you can say, hey, head north on I-35, exit this, blah, 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 turn here. Next thing, home faces. Huh. That literally means what direction does the house face? So I'm going to go to Google Maps, and I'm going to pull up the address, which is 343 Cherrywood. And I'm going to be moving this stuff all day long. 343 Cherrywood Lane. Now, why do you have to put this in here? I don't really know. I think it's because people are kind of weird about, like, I don't want the house raising up on the front side of the thing. So if we zoom in on the house right here, the front door is right here. And that is what they consider where the house faces. And I'll show you pictures in a minute. I just happen to remember this. So if we zoom out, we know that it's doing this way. The house is mostly facing southeast. Okay. So right here, I'm going to put the house faces southeast. All right. No big deal. 1968 is when the house was built. That is an interesting thing. So what happens if a house is built before 1978? Anybody?
Lead-based paint.
Thank you. Lead-based paint addendum. So I need to have Eric fill out a lead-based paint addendum. Okay, so that's important. You got to remember that as you see this. Next one, recent rehab. Anybody want to know? Yep, just got rehab. Some people, the reason why you put all of this stuff in, which I know it seems so crazy, but sometimes people are searching for a house that's move-in ready. And they're, as an MLS, as a realtor, you can go in the MLS and say, only send me houses that have recent rehab. Okay. This next one, how many square feet is the house? 1779. Guys, you need to know this. This needs to be in here. Obviously, the red dots are the ones that are mandatory, but some people will go in the search. I need a house that's 1,500 square feet or bigger. If you have a 0 in here, you're not going to come up in that search. Now, where did I get this data? Well, it came from the appraisal district. Okay, that's why you want to look it up that way. School district, Judson ISD. Notice you have these little stars saying this is mandatory. Oh my Jesus. I don't know what school it goes to. I have a good guess, but we need to look this up because some people are like, well, my kid goes to XYZ. I need to know. Some people are really lazy and you can go in here and I think it's like call district. Yeah, so you can click call district and just put that for every single one of them. I think that's lazy. It takes 2 seconds to figure this out, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to go, and all you have to do is go to the Judson ISD website. And again, I'm not real prepared. Like I said, this is off the fly, so we're going to figure this out together. Man, they just changed their website too. Families, maybe?
Hey, Colin.
Yes, ma'am.
I've heard that it's better to suggest the potential home buyer to reach out to the school district to confirm it.
I will do that. I will do
Okay.
that. Okay. But if somebody's searching for, because I think this one goes to Franz Elementary or Franz or however you say it, you're going to want to know that's where it goes.
Find your school.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
All
thank
right.
you. Find your school. Search by street name. Cherrywood Lane. Boom. Franz Kitty Hawk Veterans Memorial. Okay. Veterans is that new high school they built. You know, maybe they're okay with going to there, but they don't want their kid going to Wagner or Judson. You know what I mean? They want them to go to Veterans. So right there, that tells me the answer. Took 2.5 seconds. We're just going to go pop that in. Man, my screen's too small for all this stuff. All right, so elementary school. I usually click this, type in Franz Elementary. Ed Franz at Franz, it's the same thing, it doesn't matter. Then go to Kitty Hawk. Thank you very much. And they will go to vet. Oops, I'm gonna look it up. By the way, guys, it's easier to look it up because it'll make sure you're spelling it correctly. Whatever the proper abbreviations are, you'd be surprised how often I mess that up. So, and I'll show you, you were right, Joey. I'm going to show you where I would put that in there because you're going to say verify schools measurements, and I'll show you where you do that. Construction. Is this a new home or pre-owned? Right? Builder's name, unknown, guys. I don't know who built the house. And it doesn't say it in the BCAT either. You probably could figure it out if you went down to the district, but nobody cares that much. Neighborhood amenities. There are, so I just want to look through these with y'all. How do I make this go away? There's too much on this screen. Okay. Controlled access, is it gated? Is there waterfront? Is there a pool? Is there tennis? Is there golf course, clubhouse, park, jogging trails? Guys, there's nothing like that out there. This is just regular. So I'm going to click none. It's just a regular old street neighborhood. Is it an accessible and adaptive home? Ladies and gentlemen, you need to make dang sure that you put that in there. If it is an accessible home, if they tell you, oh yeah, it's accessible, you need to have that verified, guys. You need to verify whether or not that is accessible, because that is a big no-no, okay? The hallways have to be a certain width. You have to have, I think it's 2 entrances that are available by ramp. Light switches have to be lowered, things like that. Just pay attention to it. Miscellaneous, latent defect. Is there something like the foundation is jacked? There's a hole in the roof, something big. Floodplain, that's an interesting one. So you can, I know this one's not, but I'm going to show you how to look this up. I actually have it. No. Yeah, here we go. You're going to want to go to FEMA, guys. I just Googled something that I knew would come up, pull it up. You can go to any.gov or FEMA. FEMA is the one who actually determines whether or not you're in the flood zone. Oh no, this is some crap website. Hold on. They're going to try and sell me insurance.
Do you think maybe at a future one we could talk about, say you have a client that has property that's in, floodplain, and how they could potentially contest what FEMA says because they feel like some of the product, some of it's out, stuff like that?
Well, I've never known anybody to contest it, and I can't imagine that you would win.
See, and that's what I'm trying to advise the client, trying to sit here but okay.
Yeah, there are people that literally, that is their job, is to run around, calculate the cubic feet per second of rain one-off water and blah, 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 and they determine it. I can't, I'm not saying it's not possible. I wouldn't do it. By the way, guys, this is the correct map that I was looking for a minute ago, msc.fema.gov. This is the one I was looking for. That other one was probably punch it in and they're going to try and sell you insurance. But if you notice, this is the actual FEMA website. And if y'all hear snoring in the background, my dog is on the floor behind me. I have a 175-pound Great Dane, and he snores like a lumberjack. So right there, all I did was punch in the address, guys. And as you can see, there's little flood zones right here. See how it's a little discolored? See how it's a little discolored here? But where I'm at, I'm good, okay? And just to verify, it'll even tell you that somewhere on this page, it says that you're not in a flood zone. But without base, flood elevation, regulatory, you can see what all these different colors mean. If you zoom out, you can see parts of San Antonio that will be. See these lines? If you're inside the lines, you need to double and triple check what's going on here. This house, not inside any line anywhere. Most of the time, I know you think, oh, it's in the middle of the city. There's no way it's in a flood zone. Guys, flood zones can be just low water crossings. They can be all kinds of different things. So just take a hot second and look it up. It's not going to kill you. Okay. So back to my listing. So it's not in the floodplain. Lender owned, corporate owned. Lender owned is if you might also hear the term REO, real estate owned. The bank owns it. Is a corporation own it. So it is corporate owned technically. Company relocation, that you will know. Somebody's like, I'm getting relocated, and they'll pay for me to move, or they'll pay the difference. That's when you put that there. Estate sale or probate, somebody died. If it's an estate sale or probate, you need to put this because you're not obligated to have a seller's disclosure on it. Okay, so you need to put that so they understand why. Commercial potential, MUD, that's a managed utility district, tends to be places out in the country. Is the city bus available? I know you're thinking yes. I'm not going to check it though, because I don't want somebody that really needs a bus to be looking at it. I'd rather them figure it out. And so on and so forth. Investor potential is always a good one. As is, if they're not willing to make any repairs, whatever. So it is corporate owned. That's fine. Green certificates. Again, guys, if you're not familiar with this, if you're talking to somebody, they will tell you that this house is Energy Star certified. Very few people in Texas do this kind of stuff. You know, if you're out in California where they're a little bit more concerned, yes, maybe. But if I had to guess, or build San Antonio green, you know, those are designations that you can have. I don't know if he has any. I'm sure he'll correct me if I missed anything. Any green features? Do you have a solar electric, solar hot water, GMO, right? Now, walking around, I noticed that none of that was on here. So was there solar panels on it, right? The more things that you can put, the better. Energy efficiency. I'll have to ask him about the SEER of his air conditioner. That's how efficient your air conditioner is. I know he put in a new one. I'm not going to do it just yet. 12 plus inches of Addison insulation, double paned windows. Yes, I know that because I saw him. He replaced all of the windows. And they're probably low E windows. He does have ceiling fans. All right. So you want to try and make this thing as sexy as possible, guys. You just got to take a minute to go through it. It's not that the end of the world. All right. Exterior of the home. It is a 1-story. It's not a split level. Contemporary, colonial, troubadour, Spanish, ranch, historic, older, traditional. So to help figure that out, guys, I'm not going to go through all of them because I'm going to bore you all to death. But most of the time, a house that is a single story with a single pitched roof, see how it just comes to one pitch? They're going to call that a ranch style home. So I'm going to put that as a ranch, maybe even traditional, okay? Get familiar with these. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Exterior of the house. Anybody want to know what the exterior is? What do y'all think this exterior is? Brick. And because I was there,
Yeah,
there was also asbestos siding on the back of the house. Okay. No wood. The rest of it was brick, vinyl. Okay. Asbestos siding, if y'all have never seen it, asbestos, how do you spell asbestos? Asbestos siding, there we go. Don't laugh, Joey. I'm a terrible speller, and that's not it. This is asbestos siding, guys. It looks like a tile, but it usually has these lines in it. It's very popular in San Antonio. I know when you say asbestos, it sounds like it's super dangerous. The reason why people did asbestos is because it's very, very well insulated and it's very flame retardant. It's only dangerous if you start taking it off. So if you take it off, you need a professional to do it. What is the roof? Anybody?
Shingles.
What would you think the roof would be? It's a tricky
Composition.
one. Composition shingle. Okay, that's another word for that. Heavy composition, you will know the minute you walk up to the house that shingles look like they're about a ½ inch thick. But other than that, it's just a regular old composition roof. That's what that's called. I know it's kind of a weird one. That's why I asked. Foundation, it is a slab foundation. Cedar post, pier and beam. Does it have a basement? Probably not. Garage parking. Anybody remember what that one looked like? Oops. What was that? How many car garage is that? 2. Any additional parking? Circular drive, not really. It's kind of a semicircle, street parking, bus, blah, blah, blah. No, none of that. Does it have a pool? No. Does it have a spa? No. Exterior features. Patio slab, covered patio. It did have that in the back. Chain link fence on sides of it and a privacy fence on one side of it. Did have double paned windows. I know it asked that twice, guys, but again, I want this thing to look as good as it possibly. Ooh, gutters. Did it have gutters? I don't think it did. Yeah, no gutters. Dog run, wire fence, stone masonry. Okay. Lot size, again, that pulled from the MLS earlier. Lot description, it is on a corner. It's not on a golf course. And it was 0.23 acres, if you remember, so I'm going to put that one in there. Y'all know what zero lot line is, by the way, guys? Zero lot line, a lot of the garden homes are built like that. So where the line actually divides the property, a lot of places, a lot of neighborhoods have a setback. Like you cannot build on the line. You can put a fence there, but you can't put your house. A zero lot line, they say you can put your house right on that line. So you'll see a lot of people that have that. Yeah, it's some Joey made a face at that. Not everybody likes it. Some people don't mind. Usually, I feel like that's kind of like retirement communities. They have that because they don't want to mow.
I like elbow room, thank you.
Yeah. You think we could hunt in the city, right? Secluded, gently rolling. Is it on a lake, river? Okay, that's probably good. Lot dimensions, I don't have that. I can get the lot dimensions by going back to my Bexar County Appraisal District and looking at the land. It tells me right there, it is 85 by 118. Everybody see that? The effective front, the effective depth. So what did I say? 85 by 118. 85 foot by 118 foot. A lot of improvements. It does have a paved street. It does have curbs. I don't remember if it has gutters. There's no street lights, alley. I can't remember where the fire hydrant is. It's on a city street. All right, next. The interior of the house. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. There were, in my opinion, 2 living areas. So I'm going to put that in there. What constitutes a living area? That's kind of for your interpretation. I'll show you what I mean when we dig through the pictures, but it was definitely 2 separate areas. It did not have a separate dining room. Did not really have, oh, it did have an eating kitchen actually. Is there 2 eating areas? Is there an island kitchen? There's probably a breakfast bar. There's not an island. I don't think it was a walk-in pantry. No study or office.
When it says 2 eating areas, can a bar, like countertop, count as an eating area if it, it allows the bar stools and stuff?
That's what I would consider an eat-in kitchen if that bar is shared in the kitchen, in my opinion. Okay, this is a little up for grabs. The whole thing is you want to make it sound as sexy as you can, but you don't want to piss off other realtors. If they drag somebody all the way out there and you kind of flub that, they're going to be a little bit mad. Utility room was inside. I definitely would say it had an open floor plan. Cable TVs available. You can get high-speed internet out there. All bedrooms are downstairs. Laundry's in the main level. Did have walk-in closets. I didn't go in the attic, so I'm not going to put any of that stuff. Did have pull-down stairs, though. Radiant barrier, guys, decking. If there's anything cool in the attic, some people really want energy-efficient homes. That's where it'll go. I don't know if there's an attic fan. Inclusions. So if you remember, when you go to sell a property, if there's stuff already in the house that's going to stay in the house, you need to say that. Okay, the ceiling fans are staying. Okay, yes, it has a washer and dryer connection. It does not have a washer and dryer though. Oh, cooktop and oven. Let's go look at that. I can't remember what the kitchen looked like. So right there, guys, pictures are helpful. See the cooktop? It's an electric with an oven. Okay, so it does have a cooktop with an oven. Oops. Sorry, that's different. You're going to want the stove and range. The cooktop is when it's kind of built into the bar, and then a built-in oven is going to be something that's not easily removed. That one comes right out. It did have a disposal. And it did have a dishwasher as well. Let's go and make sure I can confirm that. I think I remember seeing it. There it is. Okay. No ice maker, no wet bar, vent fan, intercom, smoke alarms. Yep. There's supposed to be a smoke alarm, just for y'all's edification, in every bedroom within 8 feet of the door, or at least 8 feet from the door, and in the hallways. Doesn't need to be in the living room, doesn't need to be in the kitchen, needs to be in the bedrooms and the hallways. It had an electric water heater, pretty sure. Downdraft, guys. So in this kitchen, the vent fan, when you turn the fan on, this one's in the microwave. A downdraft is kind of an older school thing. You'll see sometimes. I have one in my house where it sucks the air down. pulls it through the concrete. A lot of questions about that. So, solid countertops, no. This has butcher board, which is actually really cool, but it's not a solid. You're looking for granite. No double ovens. Propane water heater. It does have city garbage service, and we're good. Floors. Let's take a look. What's the floors made out of? Okay. If I remember correctly, that is a laminate tile, and it's just about throughout the entire house, but I think the bedrooms are carpeted. Yep. So as you can see, carpet in the bedrooms, ceramic tile in the bathrooms, and a laminate throughout the rest of it. So you'd put in all of them, carpeting, ceramic, laminate. Anybody even know the difference between laminate and vinyl? Laminate flooring, you'll see is kind of that, it usually comes in those rectangular shapes and they click together and it's kind of a compressed wood with a plastic coating. That's a laminate floor. It's a little bit thicker. You can hear it. And if you drop something on it, it sounds different. Vinyl tends to be very thick plastic kind of stuff. Sometimes they stick down usually. No stained concrete, stone toilet. Fireplaces, none. Window coverings. Window coverings, guys, are blinds, mini blinds, shutters, the little cloth, what do they call them? I can't think what they're called. That go over the top. All remain, some remain, or none remain. Say it again.
Balances?
Balances, thank you. Do those stay or not? Because you're probably going to leave them up in the house. Most people will not want to take all those down, whatever. This is just saying if they're in there, are they staying? Okay, I'm just going to say all remain because there are no blinds in there. But if there is one that I missed, yeah, I don't think Eric's going to want to go take it out. Bedrooms. Now, I'm going to go to my little room scan app so I make sure I didn't mess this up. I'm going to look it up. The cool thing, I don't know, can y'all see this real quick? Can y'all see my picture? I don't know if it's trying to use the background. Can y'all see that? Every single room I scanned, it saves in my phone for me, so I don't have to think about it twice. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to look in here. Master bedroom, second bedroom, third bedroom. So it's a 3-bedroom, and then I counted 2 baths. It is a 3-bedroom. The master bedroom. Oddly enough, it is a split master. I'll show you pictures in a minute. It's downstairs. Didn't have outside access, had a single closet, had plenty of sitting room, had a walk-in closet, had a ceiling fan, has a full bath. Okay, master bedroom closet size. I knew it was going to ask me that, so I checked that out. My master closet is 7.5 feet by 6 feet. It won't let you 7.5 times 6. Bathrooms. Bathroom closet level, it's on the first level. I don't know why it does that. There's 2 full baths, 0 half bath. The master, let's go look. That was the second bath. So this is all the master stuff. So I thought it was just a walk-in shower. That looks slick. It's cool, isn't it? So this is a walk-in shower, right? Shower only. And it was also a single vanity, which you want to find a better picture to confirm that. Just a single vanity. This is why you're going to want to write all this stuff down, guys, because if you don't have it, I mean, luckily I had the pictures, and like I said, I've only been through it once. No garden tub. All right, cool. So the things that are mandatory are here. I tried to get as much as I possibly could. So some people say I need to have a, let's see, the kitchen is 22.5 by 8. 22.5, oops, by 8. And this is in feet, guys, not inches or meters or whatever. So the entry room size, which I called the front room, is 14.5 by 19. Oops. sorry, I'm going back and forth with my phone. The living room, which I'd consider the back room because it's 2 living areas, is 15 by 21 and a half. Study, office, kitchen, the master bedroom. So this is kind of weird. Hold on, I'm gonna see if y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Can y'all see my phone again? Let's see if I can get it to where it's not doing that. Y'all see how that master bedroom is shaped? Y'all can't really see it.
No, it's just a white screen at this point.
There we go. Can y'all see that?
Yes,
So
kind
it's kind of
of.
like L-shaped, right? I'm going to take the widest part of it. So the widest part was 16 foot. The longest part was 28. I don't know if that's 180% correct, but I want this master bedroom. It is a large master bedroom, and I want it to seem large. The master bedroom side, master bath, oops. 7.5 by 5. The second bedroom is 13 by 11. Bedroom 3 was 9.5 by 11. And I got all the ones with the red stars next to it. Air conditioning, 1 central. Heating, central. Not window units, there's only 1 unit. Heating fuel was electric. Water and sewer is the city. Okay, if you live in San Antonio, you're using city public services and SAWS. Notice you don't have to put in the electric supplier. You can. Here in San Antonio, everybody knows you're using SAWS and you're using CPS, so it's not really that thing. Are we taxed by multiple counties? No. Tax year, see, look, it already filled that in with me. And is there an HOA out here? No, there is not an HOA. If you have an HOA, guys, you've got more paperwork to fill out. And it's going to tell me, if you push it, it'll tell you. Contract, I have the exclusive right to sell. Does anybody know the difference between exclusive right to sell and exclusive agency? Ooh, that's a tricky one. Let me just put it this way. You want the exclusive right to sell. I am the only person
Exclusive
selling.
right to sell means you don't have to compete with anybody.
Wait, yeah, exactly. You're not going to have to compete with anybody on the sell side. Agency means, yes, I work with him, but he may have multiple agents. So I have an exclusive agency. There's nobody between me and him, but the exclusive right to sell is what I have with this property. Listing date, we're going to do today. Expiration date. Ooh, we talked about this a little bit in the video I just put up the other day. Let's say Eric says, you got 6 months to sell my house or I'm finding another realtor. Okay. When you fill out that exclusive right to sell form, you will have an expiration date. You need to put that correct date in here. Now, as for me, I want to put something kind of far out, but this house will sell pretty quickly. Proposed terms. And this is what I wanted to talk about with our thing today. Conventional loan is a bank loan. You go to the bank. FHA or VA are 2 different kinds of government-backed loans. The reason why these both qualify is because the house is in good condition. Okay, there's not going to be anything that comes back on the inspection that would disqualify it, and we'll talk more about that in another one. First seller carry. Is Eric willing to own or finance it? No, he's not. He wants to sell it. Is he willing to do a second seller carry? Let's say the house, he's trying to sell it, like the price was $239. Let's say he's trying to sell it for $400, but he knows it won't appraise for $400 for whatever reason. Are you willing to carry the difference from what the bank will loan and that? That shouldn't be a problem, so I'm not worried about that. Seller required qualify. I mean, obviously that's going to happen. Lease option. Lease with an option to buy is a lot of what people will call rent to own sometimes erroneously. It's not correct, meaning I will let you lease this house for a year and I will agree on a price that is good for 1 year. He doesn't want to do that. Buy down, we're buying down the rest of the loan. Are we going to wrap it? Dangerous, don't do that. Texas vet. I'd have to go look up to see if this one qualifies, but I doubt it. That's usually ones that have a lot of land with it. I'm sure Eric would take cash for it. Trade, you want to trade houses? That's weird. 100% financing. You would put that if he's willing to own or finance it with 0 down. That's the only time I can think that you would ever want to do that. Unless it qualifies for USDA loans as well. USDA loans are 100% financing. Those tend to be rurals. It's just a sexy way to market it, really. VA substitution, no, because he's not a VA. Sometimes you can switch. If it's on a VA loan, you can switch out the loan. It's not. Release required, fine. Investors, okay, you can click yes, but they're looking for fixer-uppers. Assumption with qualifying, assumption non-qualifying. Very few loans are assumable now. VA used to do it back in the day, but they don't really do that much anymore. Meaning, and the owner would know if it was assumable, meaning, hey, look, you just take over my loan. We're just going to put your name on it. If we leave my name on it and I sell it to you, that's called a wrap. If I put your name on the loan paperwork, that's an assumption. USDA is that 100% financing. This one probably won't qualify. You can go to the USD website and look it up. I'm not going to drag you through that. It's got to be rural, guys. It's got to be rural. Rural. Okay. Possession. When can the person move in? Can you move in before closing? He's not going to let that happen. Closing and funding. Once we've signed all the documents and the money's changed hands, you cannot move in until a specific date. Like, yes, I don't care if you buy it now, you're not moving in until November 15th. Okay, whatever. Current lease agreement. Is it under a current lease? Like somebody's living in there? You need to do that. The tenants will vacate, negotiable, whatever. Closing and funding is the most frequent. Phone number to show, just because I know it, it's 210-222-2227, because I'm going to be putting this in showing time, and I'll show you how to do that at the end. Showing contact is showing time. So the difference in these guys, since it's vacant, I'm going to call this a go and show. Whenever you're ready, just go over there and look at it. I don't care. As long as a realtor's with them, they can go at any time. Sometimes only the owner wants to show it. You need to put that in there. The office, you need to call the White Line office. No. Agent, you need to go with me. This agent one is if you were showing like a super high dollar house. If you're showing like a $5 million property, you may want to be there every single time because you're not going to have a lot of showings anyways. Lockbox type. Did you buy one of the Supras? Did you buy a Supra from Four Rivers? Is it on a combo, which it is, other or none? Occupancy, vacant. By the way, tenant, owner, other, home tender. Is there some lady that's living there just making sure the house doesn't burn down? Currently being leased, no. Owner, leggings, mark. That was not correct. So we're going to go back here, and all I do is copy and paste. Remember we said it was corporate owned? Oops. Sub-agent commission. It's got, okay, so a sub-agent, God, I don't want to get into sub-agent because I'm not sure I understand it a lot, but a sub-agent is somebody that's working under the cell of another person. I always put 0 here because I want to deal with the actual realtor that's coming into this. I don't want some guy that's kind of, I don't want to mess with that. So it's always 0 for that. And on this one, the buyer agent commission. So whoever brings the buyer, this is 3%. Make sure that that is 100% correct because that is a contractual obligation. If you accidentally type in a 4, you will pay them 4% commission at closing. Okay? Be very careful about that. Check here of a variable rate commission. Well, if you sell it for this much, we'll give you 4%. No, what about that? A bonus. Hey guys, if you sell this house, I'll give you 3% plus $2,000. I'll give you 3% plus whatever. Is the owner a licensed real estate agent or licensed real estate broker? Yep. Now, this is weird because technically an LLC owns this. However, the owner of the LLC is a licensed real estate broker. So yes, you need to put that in there. Disclose, disclose, disclose. I know that Eric likes to use Ryan Hopkins, and I like to use him too. So I know his address. I like to use Ryan and Maria at 5 Star Title in Seguin. I know it sounds weird that I have a house. What's going on? Hello. What in the world? I can't hear you, Joey. Is my computer freezing up on me?
Up at the top, it says, okay, you typed an invalid
Oh.
T for state. I think you just click okay and then you can go back.
Sorry, I couldn't see it because y'all's pictures are. Thank you. I've got so many little screens that when you do the Zoom calls, it kills me. Thank you for helping me. I want to say the numbers. So I know it seems weird that they are in Seguin. Pretty sure that's right. I'm gonna check real quick. R. Hopkins at 5startitle.net. I put 5 start. I did. Okay. Potential short sell. Is this going to sell for less than the person owes on it? If you have a short sell, you need to go talk to that person's bank and see if it is an option. That's usually somebody in foreclosure, some sort of duress, some sort of something. This is not a potential short sell. A short sell is when you sell it for less than is owed on the bank. Or less than the bank owes on it. Agent confidential remarks. This is what shows up on the agent's page. So please verify room sizes and schools. That's where you put that. Okay. Public remarks. This is what I was talking about. Y'all want to help me out on this one?
I want to see you shine.
Huh?
I said, I want to see you shine.
I can't spell. I can't even think right now. I'm not in the mood to do this. Normally I have my wife or somebody come help me with this.
Is this where you would put like just a description about the home?
This is where it needs to be the sexiest thing you can possibly think of, right?
Yeah, like you're working them up in this, right?
Yeah. So like if you go to like realtor.com, this is what you want. And it's all the same crap. I'm just not real good at this. So if I go to this one right here, I'm just looking at a random house that showed up on realtor.com.
So this is where you would put like what you see, like this beautifully remodeled
open
home,
floor plan. Yeah.
will go quick, all that kind of snazzy stuff, right?
Is ready for your family. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean? This is where the frou-frou stuff comes in. It's and I need to take a minute and really look at that, and I'm not going to sit here and do it unless y'all see something about that house that y'all just love. Okay, so display listing on the internet. Yes. Does it need to go to Zillow or whatever? You can stop that if you want. Display address on the internet. That's interesting. Why would you not want to do that?
A lot of ranch properties don't do that.
A lot of ranch properties won't do that because they know if it's vacant, they don't want people wandering around on their land. Okay. A lot of very high-end properties don't want their address posted. There was one across the street from me that was for $13 million. Okay. I wouldn't want people coming over there going, "Oh, look how pretty that is." And if it's vacant and it's a $13 million home, you're just inviting criminals, right? Next thing, is there a virtual tour? Notice when I click on that, guys, y'all see what pops up right here? Listingbooster.com/virtual tour. So Eric did not make a virtual tour. If you Google virtual tour, there's a million places that'll do it. Listing Booster will do it for free. So done, okay? Number one. And sometimes I'll have like Matterports too that are really slick. This is a different kind of photographer that will provide these. If you're on YouTube, you can put a YouTube. So I kind of just want to show y'all this real quick. So I don't even know what house this is that I had in there at one point. I'm going to show y'all the difference. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is one of my super duper high-end properties, right? This thing sold for $750,000. So I hired a professional videographer and he sent me this, and I'm considering this the virtual tour, drone footage, because it's on a golf course, right? You want to pay for these extra things. If I'm going to be making 25 grand, I'm okay with spending the money. So a virtual tour is just basically a video. What's some of the other ones that are in here?
Can you find someone who does that on that app you were talking about, the Thumbtack app?
Mm-hmm. Also get referrals. That guy. Oh, see, that one's not in there anymore. That guy was a referral from Cameron, actually, and he did a fantastic job. So I don't have a virtual tour yet. Once I do this, once I hit save, it's going to go in to the listing booster, and it will automatically take all of my videos or my pictures and make it into a virtual tour. Are any of the property photos virtually staged? Just answer honestly, guys. Nobody really cares. What is virtual staging? There's no furniture in there, but you send it to a Photoshop guy that puts a couch and puts all this cute stuff in there. You need to tell them if it is staged or not. And then manage photos. So now, guys, let's look at this real quick. This primary photo must be entered within 72 hours of the list date to avoid notification and a fine. If you don't put a picture on here, they will fine you. Don't say, oh, I'll do it later. Do it now. You can save it as a draft if you don't have your photos yet. Don't do that, guys. I almost got fined one time because I hit save and continue instead of save as a draft, and it posted it, and they're like, you better put a photo on. Okay, you must indicate if they are virtually staged. I don't know why it's such a big deal, but whatever. And a minimum of 4 photos. Okay, so you got to put at least 4. The max you can put is 25. So we're going to select images in just a minute. I need some input from you guys. Would y'all mind helping me out? So when you get photos, as you can see, these 3 photos are all of the front elevation. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now, for my personal idea here, guys, this is my favorite. It shows the blue door well. The grass looks good. So you can see all this dirt over here. And the other thing I don't like is that I can tell how dinged up that garage door is. So remember, this is probably going to be your first photo. See how much better the grass looks? You can't really see the dirt over here, right? So what I'm going to do is I got to move y'all again. Move you to this side. I'm going to download this picture. All right, so that's my first one. Now let's look at these couple of the back. So one, guys, come on. There's 2 pictures of the back. Which one do you think you should put?
That one, the other one.
This one right here,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to download that one. So I kind of like this shot because it shows that it's an open floor plan. Now, do you have to put 25 photos? No. I mean, I usually just take the best ones. I think that's a cool one. Let's see if there's one that's at a better angle. See, I don't like that angle at all, right?
Is
Am I
the
crazy?
flooring a different color in the kitchen? I can't tell from the photos, but it kind of looks like it, huh?
It might be.
It does look like it.
So I like that photo.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is. See, I don't know how crazy I am about this particular photo, right? It just makes it look small. So use your best judgment. Photographers just kind of go through and do whatever they can do. This to me is a really cool photo, right?
Yeah, shows the butcher block good.
It shows the butcher block, exactly. It shows the backsplash. It shows how clean and, you know what I mean? Not crazy.
That looks long. It looks big in that picture.
All right.
I think that would be a good way to show that built-in in the corner there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea without having that other photo that was just kind of made it look small.
I like that one because I didn't notice the beams until that actual picture on the roof, on the ceiling, and the recessed lighting.
I wish you would have colored those beams. Give me a hard time about that. So this is the master. I might come back to that one. It makes it look kind of small. We'll see how many.
Is that like a little foyer area or like the
Yeah, so there's like this, and then there's a little back room back here. Right? Like that's what I was saying. It was kind of a split master.
Oh, there it is. Okay, that's cute.
Yeah, he opened this thing up. It's huge. It's cool. See this kind of stuff, guys? Don't put that in there. That's some Ricky Rodeo stuff right there. Sorry, that's my
You
wife's.
can actually see the photographer in that photo.
Can you?
in the
Yeah,
glass.
but there's no other master photo that I really like. See, that's the secondary bath. Sorry, guys, 1 second. By the way, quick tip, guys, always make sure the toilet's closed. I screw that up every time.
So what happens if you send a photographer? Well, I guess you're there with them.
You can be.
So like if you were to send a photographer, say there were people in the house prior to the photographer coming and you scheduled them to come and you trust them to be there. And then like what you just said, like he takes pictures and there's, the paper is laying everywhere, the toilets are up. Do you tell them to go back and redo it?
I would, absolutely. Like if they just look like hell, yeah, I'm not afraid to do that. But what you might want to do is your first couple times go with them until you get to know the guy. Like, I had a guy that shot all my real estate photography, and he died very tragically, but he was phenomenal. Like he shot my house, and then I used him for, because like he walked around and he was like turning the plant so it looked just right. And he brought in all these huge, those umbrella lights and stuff. So the lighting was, the guy went above and beyond. So after that, I was like, dude, do what you got to do. He knew exactly how to make it look amazing. So like I said, when you're interviewing them, ask them if they have any experience doing it. If they've never done it before, then you don't need to be helping them with that. Just unless they don't know.
Is there a specific type of, for like the wide shots? I'm not a photographer, but so my sister is actually a professional photographer. She's going to do my stuff, but she's never done real estate photography. And she was saying that there's something really specific camera wise that they use for those shots. What do you know what that is?
Yeah, I'm actually a semi-professional photographer. I've shot a couple of weddings and different stuff like that. And it is very different. I can shoot real estate photos. Mine do not come out as well as other people's, so I allow other people to do it. I'm much better at the candid kind of stuff. I did a lot of concerts. I did a lot of weddings, things like that. But I can't shoot a portrait to save my life. I think everybody looks ridiculous when I shoot a portrait of them. So what they do a lot of times is they will fisheye it to try and get into the big rooms. You have to be very careful with when, where, and why you would use that idea, because when you fisheye anything, it distorts it coming at you. Okay, so you don't want it. It could look very, very funny. They also just have very wide angle lenses where you might have like a 15 millimeter lens where it just gets in everything, which is more of what you want. You want to get a very, very low millimeter lens, something that will get it open as much as you can. Get it as wide as you possibly can. Those are those, you ever seen when they're lenses that look almost bigger than the camera. They're real wide lenses. All right, so we're going to click here to select images, and here are my images. Open those up, and it just populates them. So you need to click if they're virtually staged. See that? You got to click if they're virtually staged, and then I'm going to put in the title, exterior front. Everybody see what I'm doing? Exterior back. I also like to kind of go through these things in order of the way you would kind of see them as you walk through the house. It kind of helps people understand the layout, because if they can see one thing, so this is coming right in the front door, obviously. If they can see one thing and know that it leads to a second, so I would probably, and all you gotta do is just drag them into place. It's kind of nice. So now your brain can kind of make sense of these too. If you jump all the way around, people will get turned off from that because they can't figure out what's happening. I'll probably put this one in here next. I'm probably walking into the kitchen. And by the way, guys, Eric used to beat this into my head when we first started doing real estate investing together. What sells? Kitchens and bathrooms, right? So that's, if you notice, I have a couple pictures of the kitchen in here. People want to
Uh-oh.
ask.
Kind of, did you hear him, Kimberly? I do go by Kim or Kimberly. I don't want to call you the wrong name.
Oh, Kimberly.
I missed part of what you said, what sells kitchens and I'm
And
assuming
bathrooms.
bathrooms.
Kitchens
Yeah.
and bathrooms. So next, I'm gonna put the master in here, in the master bath.
It's funny because the first thing I always look at when I look at a listing is I look at the yard.
Oh,
which
really?
is random, but yeah.
So as you can see, I just put the titles of whatever it is. So this one I feel like kind of shows the eat-in kitchen because you can see where it's eating there. First living area. You know, I don't, if y'all noticed, I have not, I mean, I probably should. I don't know. It's just kind of my personal preference. I don't usually put a lot of pictures of the bedrooms unless there's just something exquisite about the bedroom. Because a lot of times it's just 4 walls and a window. You know what I mean? And it just looks really barren. I just don't really.
Is that more because a lot of, I mean, is it for a home that is just an empty home? It's a vacant home?
Exactly. If I had them virtually staged, then I would definitely do it because they usually come out really good.
Do you ever do that, virtual stage?
Yeah.
Do you virtually stage on homes that actually have occupants?
No, it's hard. You can. It's going to cost you a lot of money because I got to Photoshop stuff out and then Photoshop stuff back in. Does that make sense? If it's an ugly house. If the house is staged and it looks good, like that one I just showed you the YouTube video of, they had a professional designer come in and do all their stuff. And I'm just like, leave it. They're like, do I need to change anything? I'm like, no, I'm not that good. You just do what you got to do. Bathroom. Am I missing this? Okay. So master bath, exterior back. Okay. So then you just want to save your changes here. Rules and hints. By the way, it says, see how it says, please wait while your photos are being processed, right? They're putting a little copyright thing on there and all that stuff. All right, save and continue. Uh-oh, it got mad at me. Colin screwed up. Imagine
It's
that.
the virtual staging. You didn't click no on it.
Oh, thank you. But notice, see how I took my interior and put it in red? Let's go find out what I screwed up there. By the way, guys, it'll let you post it sometimes. Oh, I forgot you can't do decimals. So I'm just going to round everything up. Because you're supposed to round up to half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. All right, so when we're ready to go, you can assign a listing number and that when it goes active, but I'm not ready to go yet. So I'm going to go back. The reason why is I wanted to show you the documents. Guys, right here, if you want to make your life a lot easier, you need to put your documents in here. Just out of curiosity, what document, I know I brought up one. What documents do you think I should put in here if I have them?
An HOA addendum or that information.
Yep. HOA addendums and HOA information sheet. Yep. What else?
What was the first one you mentioned?
The lead-based paint addendum.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, the house is old, so I want to put that up before I assign a listing number to it. Okay. What is required with the sale of every property?
A disclosure?
Seller's disclosures, right? So I'm going to put the seller's disclosures up in here. If I have a survey, I'm going to put the survey in here. Any kind of documentation that you can put at the beginning will make your life so much easier. Okay. It draws this process out, sure. But trust me, if you have 15 people putting in contracts, you don't want to have to send every single one of them the seller's disclosures. You just want to say it's in the listing. So all you do here, guys, is just add a document, pull it from wherever it is on your computer, and then you just say what it is. Pet agreement. So pet agreement would be for, I mean, any of these things that you have. There's already an active home warranty that we can do it. A flood certificate, a floor plan. If it's a brand new house, put that in there. Anything you want to put in here, guys. Mold disclosures, seller's disclosures, right? And when you do that, it's going to recommend who can see it. You can obviously change that. I always just leave it to how they recommend it. But I got to put all this stuff in here, and I'm not going to let y'all figure that out. But what I will show you real quick before we go is if you just seller's disclosure Texas, TREC, there it is, right? This is the and then I just download it. Download it, print it out, right? What else do we need? Lead-based paint addendum, Texas. You'll notice I've done this before. Download the form. And Google's already popping it all up. This is exactly how I do it.
You just add them blank?
Yeah, because what I'm gonna, so if I'm gonna have, well, I mean, if you're going to see these people and you know this needs to happen, download them blank, print them out, send them in. What I'm actually gonna do for Eric, since I know where he's at, I'm just gonna go to Texas Real Estate. I'm gonna click on zip forms and I'm gonna zip form them to him, okay? And have them fill them out. Can you fill out a seller's disclosures form?
No.
No, 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 no. Even if they tell you what's in the house. See, I can't do that. I cannot fill out Eric's seller's disclosure form. I can't do it. Huge no-no. So I'm gonna send it to him. It's gonna be kind of a pain in the butt because he's gonna have to check yes or no on all these little things, okay?
Speaking of seller's disclosure forms, well, it's actually my father-in-law's property, but he filled out a seller's disclosure form for me. And then I had somebody come look at the roof and they needed just some like minor repairs. And then he asked me, he said, hey, can I go ahead and just fill out a different seller's, this is before it had been listed. I want to fill out a different seller's disclosure form because now that the roof is actually repaired, I'd rather redo the form. Is that okay? I mean, that's okay to do.
Absolutely.
As long as,
Yeah.
okay.
If anything changes. So this is the TREC seller's disclosure form. Okay. Down here at the bottom of this one. I don't remember where it is. Right here. See this one? Previous roof or structural repair.
Mm,
You'll see that?
okay. Yeah.
Now this is the TREC one. So if you say yes, roof repair, what is it? Additional sheets if necessary. There were some minor repairs done to the roof. It's now passed a roofing inspection by ABC Roofing. Okay. Say who did it. Don't say, well, my grandpappy got up there and looked at it and it looked fine. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
But so is there any previous structural repair? Now, see, this is why I need Eric to fill this out. I don't know if he put a new roof on it. Roof repair. Yes. New roof added on whatever, right? I don't know what he did to this house. I wasn't there. So it's like, that's why he's got to fill this out. I can't do it. And as you can see, guys, this is the one that I downloaded is one of those ones that's those PDFs where you can write. So that's actually probably why I'm going to mail him this one versus a seller's disclosure. That way he can just get it back to me. So I will say this, TREC has a seller's disclosure form. Another one that I really like is the Sabor seller's disclosure. This is the one I usually use because it has, hello. Oh, you got to get it in zip forms in. I usually use this one because it's instead of 3 pages, it's 5 pages. More information is better. Disclose, disclose, disclose.
Do you, so I just want to make sure I'm clear. When you upload those documents to the MLS, are they completed by your seller by that point in time? Like, you know, they've already filled it out, it's there, it's done, and that you're not uploading any blank documents or anything like that.
Right. So
Okay.
that's how I do it, and that's how I would definitely do it. So what happens when I go to my listing appointment, if you remember, I'm going to take an IABS, I'm going to take a exclusive right to sell, and I'm going to take all of these forms. I'm going to take this form, I'm going to take everything. Okay. and I'm going to walk through the house with them and check it all off. That takes a while, guys. I mean, you're going to be there for 2 hours. Doesn't have this,
Yeah.
doesn't have that, doesn't have this. And you're going to go through the whole thing. Then you're going to leave. Well, I always leave them the seller's disclosure form. I said, take your time with this one, because that is the number one reason you'll get dragged into a lawsuit. I did not, they knew that this was there. Like a good example is when I bought my house. Okay. My house has a pool. I'm sitting here noticing that the pool's leaking. Okay. Did the person know that the pool was leaking? Well, my neighbor said, you ready for this? That yes, he did. It was an estate sale. Somebody had died. I bought it from the estate. Yes, he did know, because he sent somebody over to repair it. We saw the repair truck there all the time. I was mad, but there's really not much I can do about it. Why is that?
Well, because he's an estate sale, right? And he
Not
didn't have
required
to
to
really
provide
do
a
the
seller's
seller's disclosure.
Right? So I kind of took the risk. So, but somebody could throw a fit about that, because if I came out now, granted, it cost me, I don't know, probably $2,000 to fix that leak. It was actually a pretty simple leak, all things considered, but it could have been hell, right? If it was a $10,000 repair, I'd be furious. You know, so have them fill it out, have them be honest. Don't let them fib and tell them. It's like, if you're going to get sued, it's because you're lying on this paper.
Hey, not that it matters, but under exterior, the second one down, vinyl, it's spelled wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if it can be changed. VINYL.
Y-N. V-Y-N.
No, VI.
Yeah, oh, that's what I thought.
Yeah, there you
Look, I'm here for my good looks, not my stuff.
go. We'll just spell check you. You keep doing you, and we'll spell check you.
Yeah, I never take offense to it, ever, because that's me. I get it. So, any other questions about putting in a listing? Guys, that's it. I mean, that was as organic as I possibly could have made it.
Now, I know this was long, and I know because you're explaining stuff, but like, does it normally take this long to put something like this together?
If y'all weren't here, I could do it in about 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I explained a lot of things. I would just click, go through it. But the reason why I'm so thorough, though, is because, like I said, you just eliminate so much work if you do it now as opposed to on the back end. So much work.
Is CTX MLS, is it similar in nature?
Well, sort
Because
of.
I where I'm at, I'm gonna have to do both.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do one of these with Central Texas here, but yeah, it's a little bit different. Plus, they just changed it, so I'm gonna have to redo it anyways.
Okay. Because I feel like whenever several of the properties that that are in my vicinity, I've noticed that my potential clients are going and they're finding these properties on Realtor, but they're only put into Sabor or, I mean, that some of the agents aren't putting them in both. And so when I'm running reports and I'm doing, trying to sit here and create, stuff, CMA, all that stuff, that I'm running into difficulties because it's been inputted in, it's been in this system, but it's not in this system. So, I mean, as a general rule, do you just put it into one MLS?
I don't. I mean,
both?
this particular house right here, because it is in San Antonio proper, I would just put it in Sabor. Now,
Okay.
if I was in Bulverde, okay, I'd put it in both.
Yeah, see, and that's what I'm finding is that a lot of these agents aren't putting it in both, and it's creating a little extra legwork.
But it's if you have both, right?
Yeah.
Would I go pick up Central Texas because I had one listing? Probably not,
Mhm.
But I'd want to make sure I found a way to market it, but it's also where you work. I mean, I think it would be foolish of you to only have Sabor. You live in San Antonio, all your houses are in San Antonio. Somebody calls you from El Paso and says, hey, look, can I list in? It's like, well, yeah. I mean, like, I'll show you something real quick, because this is Central Texas MLS,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
If I go to Central Texas MLS and I just say, look, I didn't change anything. I was like, literally just show me everything that's listed in Central Texas. You got to be kidding me right now. I mean, there's houses in Sugar Land listed in Central Texas. To me, that's a little bit of a, I mean, I don't know the situation. Maybe they have 3 MLSs and they just listed them all in here. But if I live in Seguin and I'm listing houses in Sugar Land, that's just bad. I don't know the Sugar Land area. I have no business doing that. I bet you there's even more even further out. Yeah, look at that, Brownsville. You gotta be kidding me, right? That's in Central Texas MLS. Now, do they have multiple MLSs and they just did it? Fine. Did their cousin call them and say, hey, will you list my house for me in El Paso? Like, I have a very good friend of mine who's moving here to town. And she's moving from El Paso. And she said, Colin, I want you to be my realtor. I said, I'd love to. She goes, okay, how can you list my house? I said, I'm not listing your house in El Paso. I said, number one, I'm not going to do a good job. I don't know what it takes to sell in your market. I just don't know the El Paso market. I've been to El Paso like 10 times and it's been years, right? Let me call around. And I called and interviewed realtors for her. And then I got a referral fee. She's going to pay me 33%. And I don't have to do anything else other than interview her. I probably spent 2 or 3 hours doing that, finding her the right realtor that I thought would fit well with her, and we're done. So, you know, and if it's on the cusp, see, I have all the MLSs, right? So it doesn't bother me any, but I'm not going to list it out there. But if I like New Braunfels, I would put that in both. Why not?
Yeah.
I had both. But obviously that's 4 Rivers, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Canyon Lakes is
No. So like, and if I showed you, I mean, look how many houses that are probably in San Antonio proper. Yeah, right here. Look, I mean, that is downtown San Antonio. Look at those. So
same
those are in
thing.
Central Texas. Why not? If you had access to it, I would do it, because all it's going to do is up your CEO or your SEO. It's going to up your all that kind of stuff. But don't break your neck over it.
Okay.
Anything else? So I will say this, guys, I am not pushing assign a listing number until I have those documents from Eric. I'm just not going to do it, because I'm going to get phone calls, and then I have to stop what I'm doing, and then not doing it. So I'm going to call Eric right now and be like, hey, look, I sent you some stuff, fill it out, and then it'll be up, ready to go Wednesday by noon, right? So there you go, guys. Hopefully you learned something. It was fun. Any other questions? Nothing?
No, thank you.
Next week is going to be some investing fun with me and Eric talking about investing. Are y'all interested in being investors? I know.
I think I'm too new for that.
No.
I need to sell a property first.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it. I need a
Yeah,
listing.
I don't know enough
Colin. I
about
need a
this
listing,
stuff.
and then
So,
I have no money to invest.
Yeah.
So really interesting story. So I literally got a phone call yesterday. Are y'all posting on your Facebook, guys?
I'm
With-
trying to, but I don't have any content. What
So
am I
that's
supposed to post when
exactly-
I don't have a listing or
Go
anything to
look
go
at
to.
Go look at houses. Like right here. Go to this listing right here. Let's see. I live up here in Canyon Lake. And if you go in here, so you can do a search. Remember, it asked me, is this, well, I don't even know if this one's going to work or not.
I'll go look at that one.
Right?
Mhm.
It'll tell you, see, it's not currently leased. It'll tell you if it's occupied. They've changed some of this, so I don't know where it's at right now.
Not to mention, I don't know what to say here and say. Like, you're out there and you're talking and you're dropping little gems in there and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there going, okay, what am I going to tell people? I'm out here looking at a piece of property for clients that are potentially moving here from out of state, and they want to build in a couple years. So what I'm doing whenever I'm out there is I'm just looking at the actual space, the buildability of it, which I'm kind of a rookie at. So I really don't have a plethora of information to drop on people. And so that's where I'm running into.
So that never lie, right? I mean, don't go in there and act like you're some expert if you don't know. But what you can do is Instagram needs to be less than a minute long, right? If you're going to post a video on Instagram, it needs to be less than a minute long. Okay. So I shoot for all of my videos being less than a minute long. I don't know if you've caught that. Every now and then I'll go live and I'll kind of ramble on for like 5 minutes, but people have short attention spans. So what you can do is you can say, hey guys, what's going on? I am out here in Canyon Lake looking for properties. Oh my God, check this out. This is the coolest blue I've ever seen on a thing. Or, oh, who loves Texas? If you're moving to Texas, right? Just who cares? Just blabber. Because it's really kind of funny to me. Like my clients that I'm helping right now, it's really interesting how I've got them. Like the phone call I got yesterday, I don't know, I'm sure y'all remember, but for 10 years, I worked for this one company and I was a regional vice president. I managed all these people. One of the ladies I used to manage, she knew me as an expert in my field. She knew I was good. I left that job, started doing real estate full time years ago. Okay. But she followed, we're still in Facebook friends. She called me and said, "Hey, my mom's moving to town. Can you help her?" Absolutely. I didn't market to that. I'm just babbling on Facebook all the time, right? The second one, if you back up, the lady that's moving from El Paso to here is a lady I used to manage, somebody I knew from a former job. I'm babbling on Facebook. She knows who I am and she trusts me and she knows I'm good at what I do, right? The clients that I got last week was it's a house I'm rehabbing. And I put a sign in the front yard that says "coming soon," right? Because I'm going to list my own house. And it has my phone number. And he called me. He's like, "Can we see it?" And I was like, "Sure." So I go show it to him. "Oh, it's not quite done yet." I'm like, "No, not quite. It's almost done." And he goes, "Man, it seems kind of small. Do you have anything bigger?" As a matter of fact, why don't I come over tomorrow night? Let's talk a little bit. So I went to his house. He cooked me fajitas. I got a free dinner out of it too. He cooked me fajitas. We sat down and talked. He's like, "Man, I really want like an acre of land. I like the size of your lot." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Okay, let me run an MLS search for you." So now we're texting nonstop about stuff he gets in the MLS search. They don't come from where you think they come from. Just get online and babble. I'm kind of.
I just did one about, I created a realtor page, like you mentioned, a Facebook page, like you mentioned to do. And, I don't have any content to talk about either. I have my own commercial building, but that actually sold before I could even get on the market. So I can't really talk about that. But I just did one, like I do a lot of foster and rescue and transports and like all these things to Canada. And anyway, it's kind of crazy, but I just did one because I didn't have anything really to talk about. And I kind of did one just so they would know who I was and if, who the realtor was, if they're interested in like what my passions are and things. I just so they would know me, and maybe to them, it seemed like I'm a normal person.
Absolutely.
But
you want to seem approachable. You want to seem like you're out in the field doing this all day long. You don't, granted, yes, you don't have the expertise, but it comes by getting clients, right? So, it's the same thing with every job. It's like, how am I supposed to have 10 years experience if you won't hire me, right? It's the same thing. But look at this post that I did. What was this, 2 days ago? I need to do a post. I should have done a post yesterday. HGTV be like, "I have a part-time at daycare and my husband, breeds salamander. Our budget's 1.3 million. It's just something funny.
yeah.
I said, "Are you pre-qualified?" Because that's what a lot of people get hung up on. Okay. I got 4 likes, not that big of a deal. This one right here, guys, I walked this property for somebody, the El Paso couple, and they were not, they couldn't come in for it, and they really wanted to see this one. I put it on FaceTime. I'm just babbling about that. I was like, "Guys, I walked through on FaceTime." Okay. This one, I was showing houses today, and look at this crazy house. It's pink and blue and purple and shit. Like, it was the craziest house. I was just like, "Oh my God, look at this house." This comes from a website called List Reports. Those are List Reports. They give you free stuff to post, and they tell you what to post.
What was it called?
List reports.
List Reports.
Yeah, I'm always looking for things like that, especially for like Instagram and stuff like that. I find.
Look,
See,
you gotta see this.
I feel like for me, I have a hard time because I'm like going, do people really want to see me? Do they? I don't know.
I literally barely get on my phone throughout the day. I have a 16-month-old child. I feel like I'm never around my phone. And then by the time it's late, I'm like, should I post this? It's like 9:30 at night. That's weird.
Own it. Put your baby in that Bjorn thingy, right? And shoot a video like me and Mijo are out here looking at stuff, right? I want to, God, it's not what you think. So hold on a second. So if you go to List Reports,
I think for me, it's just I need to get over myself. It's part of it,
Hey,
like,
the video I did of me with the foster stuff and all that, I didn't even have makeup on when I did it. I was just like, I'm just going to do it. I don't care.
So,
I think that's
I had sunglasses on and I was like out doing it. So I was like, oh, well.
Yeah,
sure,
guys.
it's great.
So List Reports, real quick, they have the shareable of the day. And every day it's something. Like, they email you too, like you get emails on it. I told them to quit that. Look, take this, print it and put it on your thing and copy this caption. You don't have anything else to say? That's why I put that one up there. I didn't have anything else to say that day, but I needed to put something. My personal Facebook page, guys,
Yeah,
I'm talking about
a
properties
while
too.
ago. I'm sorry.
Look, so this is a property that I'm rehabbing, but all I did was like, look at the difference. This is the first time I've ever painted brick. I mean, look, 51 people liked it, 9 people commented.
Hey, what were you saying? Or you started saying it, but then we got onto something else. Because I'm trying to figure out like what to share. And you were saying, well, share properties. Like, share what properties? What are you saying? Like,
This one
I
right
don't
here.
want to just go share random properties, right? I mean,
Why not?
Well, can you do that? Like walk into
Yeah,
somebody's
right?
home that's listed and just start showing their,
Hell yes.
do you need
All
to get
the
permission?
time. Huh?
Do you need to get permission?
No, it's in the MLS. This
Okay.
house right here. I'm gonna go look at this one today.
I don't want to get like some homeowner going, how dare you go into my home and
Don't go
show
in there
it?
and be like, oh my God, I'm looking at this beautiful property out in the hill country. This is like, look at this kitchen. It's absolutely amazing. No, they're not going to come back to you. You're marketing their property for them. Those pictures are already on realtor.com. Who cares? Now, don't go into the house and go, look at these underwear. Yeah, you're going to get in trouble doing that. But like, I'm going to go to this house right here. This is on my list to do today.
okay, so how do you start this process? Let's say today, my very first, let's just say I wanted to do that. I want to go to this house. It's currently listed. I get on here, I call the agent and say, hey, I want to do a walkthrough of the house.
Oh,
You didn't do a showing time, Colin.
What's that?
You didn't do the showing time.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hold on.
I'm sorry. I know this is getting long and you actually have clients. but-
Yeah,
Y'all are more important.
you could share some of them with us.
I
it's
know,
fine.
really, seriously.
Put a showing time.
Spread the wealth.
And the minute you push submit,
Mhm.
give it an hour or so and it'll pop up in here. And then you just go in here and you click whatever house it is and you put in the instructions. So you just go to showingtie.me. See the link here? So appointment required, go and show, viewer instructions only, whatever. You just fill it out, just follow along, same thing. If there's a
And
lot
Kim,
of
I've gone and shown some houses because I actually did sell a home, but it wasn't my listing. And I was just able to go in and schedule a time. And I think, and I've done that in a couple other places where you just go to the house and you click showing time and then you just pick whatever time you want and you go in and you look at
yeah,
it.
they're called go and shows. So what
And even if you have to make an appointment, you make an appointment for the time, that you want and stuff
So,
like that.
like if we're in Central Texas, so I'm gonna pretend I'm Joey right now, and I'm sitting around. I got nothing to do today. Okay.
I wish that were the case.
No, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not having appointments out the wazoo, right?
No, I
Yeah.
want
What do you live in,
appointments,
like
please.
Verde area, Spring Branch, right?
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah. I've been up in Spring Branch. Is funny. It's like it's Spring Branch, but it's also Canyon Lake. It's crazy how they have
Oh,
it
my
listed.
sister just bought a lot in
Hey,
Spring Branch.
Hey, go to that one. That's actually my builder's. That's my builder. He has a new listing and this is his house. And some of it is staged and
That's
some of it's
virtually
not.
staged. You can kind of tell, right?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
so what I would do is I'd go down here and I'd look at that. Appointments only. I wouldn't go do that one. Next.
Hey, you're gonna take me out of this because that realtor right there, such a clown. Can't stand him. He's my neighbor. Don't like him on that house.
Appointment only. I would go to the ones that are going shows. And if they
Going
ask,
shows?
just like if the realtor calls you, I would.
Well, here's my question. Can I just contact my builder? Because we have him on speed dial. Can I just contact him and be like, hey, I want to sit here and do some content for Facebook. Can I come by and walk through your house and do a content thing?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how open people are. They want to sell it. And they're
Yeah.
going to tell their people, oh my God, I had a lady come by. She shot a whole video about it. She's going to try and make it look good.
It's still like the builder is selling it, correct?
No. So
Oh, okay.
my builder built my home and then he built another home in my neighborhood at River Crossing. And I have a real estate agent that lives right across the street from me. That is actually his agent, but he now knows that I'm an agent. And I think what better person to list your home and sell your home than someone who lives in one of them. So, but I can't go recruiting from
Yeah.
other
Okay,
coaches.
so real quick, hold on.
But
I know this is going off. I'll probably edit a lot of this out. But
please do.
if we go to my Facebook page, if we go to my Colin Corrington Realtor page, how many people like my page? I hate when they change all this stuff. I can't do it. So 580 people like my realtor page. Okay. So if I go to my page, how many people like Colin? How many friends do I have? 2,046. Okay. I used to be a teacher. I've done a lot of stuff. Okay. Don't worry. This is okay. It's funny how many of these are actually like former students or whatnot. So when I go to my page, I try not to inundate people. First time I painted brick, it looks good, right? Give them comments. I'm looking for contractors. Hey, we're different at White Line Realty. Shameless plug, okay? My wife texted me on some stuff. So I still have my regular Facebook things. Here's me being ridiculous. So if you walk into one of these houses, like I was just looking at right here, this is a new construction house. Okay. If you look at the instructions on this, it says no lockbox, other, see remarks, vacant. So what is other? This home is under construction. Expect to move in data fair. So there's not even going to be a door on this house. You could just walk up. Now I'd probably call and say, hey, look, I'm going to come check this house out. You know what I mean? But if you're not walking out of there with a bunch of copper pipes, they're not really going to care. You know what I mean? It's like, unless there's workers presence, be respectful, obviously, be safe, whatever. But people do it all the time. Think about when you were building, you would drive through the neighborhood and you'd see a house without a front door and you just walk in and go look around and be like, oh my God, I love how the kitchen looks, right? And then maybe make a poll, vote. Do you like the way this kitchen looks, or would you rather a round island or a square island, or I don't know, just make crap up as you're going through it. And then this one's really funny. So my girls, this video is something that I did, and my girls, we just got done reading a book and they absolutely love the book. So I was like, parents, you've got to read this book. And notice I'm wearing a White Line hat.
Yeah, what happened with that? I looked at that and I couldn't tell if there was serious shade being thrown or not.
Oh no, this is Lysandra. She is a Black friend of mine. She just likes giving me crap because it's called White Line Realty.
Okay.
But look, my other buddy was like subliminal messaging with the hat. Maybe, kind of. I'm usually wearing a White Line hat, whatever. Me going to Cleveland, me coming, this home's under contract, I share, I'm trying to find a good example of sometimes if I like a post that I do on my White Line Realtor page, I will push it out. I'll share it to my personal page. But guys, I mean, this is my personal page. I mean, I'm ridiculous. So it's a little bit of, I can't find one that I did that on, but I just talk. I just talk. I mean, it's just whatever. Go look at a house and talk. You just got to let people know. Like I said, I sold a house to a fraternity brother of mine that I hadn't talked to in 15 years. He's never commented once on any of my Facebook crap. And then he calls me out of the blue. He's like, hey man, I saw you did that. Can you sell my house? Can you buy me a house? Sure, let's go. That right now, that's where I'm getting all of my clients from. All of my clients.
Saying like a house that's on the market right now, right? Like, let's say my neighbor's house is on the market right now and they're, it's vacant. You're saying like, go to it, walk in, do a thing, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay. But what about, I know it's kind of dumb, but what about if it's not vacant? Like they live there, so just schedule a time to go in by myself and do the same thing?
You can. And you just tell them you're previewing it for a client. Okay. If a realtor goes, what's going on? You just say, hey, I'm just previewing. I got some people moving in. They're real specific about certain things. I just wanted to go check it out. Okay. Normally I do that with just the vacant houses because it's just quicker and easier. I can sit outside and just go, boom, I'm going in. And just walk around and talk about the house. Just talk. I think it's really funny. Last week, I got a renewal notice. I bought, to your point, Joy, a question you asked earlier. I bought a I'm a big golfer. I play a lot of golf. I lived in New Braunfels for 8 years. I grew up in Seguin. Now I live here. I'm kind of in the area. I played a lot of golf at Landa Park Golf Course. The golf pro called me and he goes, "Hey man, we're trying to fill up the advertisement on this thing. Will you buy one of these squares?" And I'm like, okay. So I paid $1,000, $1,000 for a square. Like, I swear to God, it's like 12 by 14, where I put my picture and Colin Corrington Realtor, and then I got a slot where I could put all my little sales things in the front of it. It's been there a year. I got a renewal notice going, "Colin, do you want to renew that?" I went out there the other day. I looked, every damn one of those flyers are still there, and I have yet to get one phone call from somebody going, "I saw your picture at the pro shop." No. The reason why I did it is because I knew a lot of those people, and I kind of wanted them to see what I was doing. But the return on investment on that is crap. I've yet to have anybody call me and go, "Hey, I saw you," you know. Everybody's calling me from Facebook.
Yeah,
Facebook,
okay.
Instagram, that's where everybody's calling me from. And it's free, guys.
I just don't know how to see. For me, I have the additional challenge that a lot of my sphere of influence is out of state. I mean, I'm from Texas, moved back to Texas, but a good portion of my sphere is out of state. So
Okay.
they know what I'm doing, but you know, I'm not really growing my. And I keep my Facebook private, my personal one private.
Yeah, and as well you should.
Just because, you know, with my husband and what his career was prior to us moving down here, it's just kind of ingrained in me to keep it very
So
closed off. But
guys, if I go look at my groups over here, okay.
ooh,
These
I
are-
like the pub crawl New Braunfels. I heard Ryan said that you do those, don't you?
Yeah,
Did you say you did that?
that's me and my buddy Wayne, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan said you do that.
Yeah. So this is a golf one, okay? Now, forgive me, I'm gonna have to edit this out. I don't know what these guys put on here. It's pretty tasteless stuff, okay? But they're hilarious. Like, you know, found a picture of Tiger Woods at the Hooters in Atlanta, Augusta, right? Stuff like that. It's kind of funny. But if I'm ever, and they talk trash, mad trash. They're always running their mouth, right? Some girl's butt on the frame page. But if I ever found a house on a golf course that had something ridiculous about it, that's where I would post it. Does that make sense? I would be like, "Oh my God, look at this. They got a picture of a whatever outside." You know what I mean? I do a lot of investing. So I'm in the investing ones, right? Flip San Antonio. If you get in groups, you've got to get to know people. You've got to get to know people. Get involved with your church. Get involved here. You know what I mean? The more people you know, it's going to come up. What do you do? Well, you know what I mean? It's just about finding those circles. Yes, I keep my Facebook's private too, guys. I mean, granted, I have 2,000 friends. I'm kind of a Facebook whore, I guess, but my Facebook's private. I don't, not everybody sees it when I post something. Everybody sees my White Line Realtor page. And obviously, if you look at my page, here's me dressed up as a giant chicken at one of my pub crawls. This is not the most professional photo. Okay? That's my buddy Wayne dressed up as Elvis and Lederhosen. Okay? My profile picture is me and my wife at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because I'm goofy. That's who I am. And that's what I have fun doing. But I'm also talking real estate because my friends know I'm a goober, right? And you never know. Your sphere of influence might be moving to San Antonio.
A lot of them are pretty fed up, but you know, with that comes Californians.
I know.
And they're not all super awesome like I am. So,
But see, okay, perfect example. Okay. See this Casey Page Harrington? She lives in, I don't even remember. One of the states I managed, Iowa maybe. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Warren Carter. This guy I have not spoken to since we graduated high school, but he likes every single one of my photos. That's amazing. You know, whenever he gets ready, he's going to call me. Troy Jaster, he's another realtor here in town, right? That I'm friends with. It's just, you got to wait. You got to just keep at it. It's a slow moving well. You just got to keep at it. I know it's tough, but my advice is get out there, meet people. You're not going to get it by paying for advertising. I mean, how many times have you ever clicked on anything because you're like, "Oh, that's a pretty ad"? You know what I mean? Anybody? I mean, I know it sounds like a weird question, but you're just irritated.
Have you ever, I had actually a phone call with Zillow yesterday about the Premier Agent stuff.
Oh, gosh, I got that too.
What's the deal with all that? Like the advertising, like for my area, the 3 areas that I would do advertising in, it's $4.97 a month,
Sounds like a lot of money.
right?
Ask them what their
$500 a
conversion
month.
rate is on that.
Huh?
Ask them what their conversion rate is.
4%?
4%. So that means out of 100 leads you get, you're going to close 4 of them.
Yeah, so you have to sign like a 6-month contract. So they say you get like 12, I have it all written down somewhere, like 12 and a half leads or something, and it's the conversion rate's 4%, and I don't know all the mathematical stuff. I wrote it down somewhere, but
Will they guarantee that conversion rate?
what will they?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how she made it sound. Yeah, that it, I guess.
I
Yeah.
would ask that question. So here's brass tacks, right? You're paying $3,000. You said you get 12 and a half leads a day. Is that right?
It's okay. So it's on average about 75 total get like guaranteed verified leads within the 6-month time period.
Okay, so that means you tell me for $3,000 at 75 and 4%, that means you're going to close 3 leads.
Right. Yeah, that's actually on there.
Yeah. So for $3,000, we're going to close 3 leads. If you're selling a $200,000 property, you're going to make $6,000. So now you're down to making the profit off of 2.5 houses.
Right.
If they'll guarantee it, I'd do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that makes sense. You know, if I'm having this, it's a lot of rifling through this stuff. I mean, I have some Op City leads right now, and I'm like, I think all those leads are flaky. It's just somebody sitting here on realtor.com or Zillow.com and going in there. I mean, that's a lot of money to pay. And I don't know your financial situation. I wouldn't pay it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, my husband actually told me to do it. And I'm kind of like, I mean, to be honest with you, when I've looked at properties, like down at the bottom when it shows, like I look to see who the listing agent actually is, but I don't go and like click on that kind of stuff. And I don't do any of that. I mean, I don't know how other people are, but.
My dad, when he moved to Minnesota, my dad lives in northern Minnesota. He moved up there like, I don't know, God, it's been a while now, 15, 20 years ago. He was a realtor at the time. And he said, he goes, Colin, when I told him that I was going full-time real estate, what you need to do is what I did. You need to get out there and just go knock on doors. And it's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I just walk up and down and introduce myself to everybody in my neighborhood. But I knew who I was. And he goes, I picked up 2 or 3 listings that way. All that takes is a little bit of courage and some nice shoes.
Hey, I've got a flyer that I just printed up, and it's all nice and pretty, and I attached my business card to it, and I've got them stuffed in envelopes, and I've got to go door knock and do that in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm sick and tired of seeing all these Keller Williams signs in their yards because they've got like a freaking hold on my neighborhood and my area, and I'm just like, no more.
So it's funny because my HOA, I'm on my HOA board, and there's a coup right now to make me president. And it's kind of it's the drama thing, right? Because everybody hates the president. But it's really funny because we just picked up a new board member, and her name's Mary Gillette. Mary Gillette's a realtor, and we have a little weekly newsletter that comes out, or monthly, and she bought ad space in there. And her ad, sure as shit, says, I'm on the board and I've been a Bluffview resident for 20 years and I love this neighborhood and I know it so well. And if you want, right? And I'm like, you son of a, now I'm mad. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna get a bigger ad. I'm gonna get a half week. You know? But what's funny is everybody in my neighborhood knows me. Well, not everybody, but a lot. You know, I'm on the board, one, and did I do that for marketing a little bit? Did y'all see the post I put the other day on the agents page about, I thought this was hilarious. Where'd I do it? Come on. I told my wife the other day, I was like, we need to donate some money to something. I just felt like I hadn't given back in a little bit. So I came up with the idea to give back to a school that helps special needs kids learning to save.
Mhm. I saw that, your post with her. Yeah, your like neighbor, the Brighton Center.
But here's why. This little girl right here, her name's Louisa. She lives 3 blocks down from me. I hang out and drink beer with her parents. Luisa's over there all the time, sweetest baby in the world. I said, that's who I'm going to do this for. And guess what the headline reads? Local realtor. How many people have been to this page? I don't know. But I will say this. I played in the Brighton Golf Tournament on Monday. And on one of the holes, they had something called like Team Crawford or something. They were sponsoring the hole. And they were giving away, I don't know, like weird little glasses or something. I said, hey, can I have 2 pairs of those so I can give them to my girls? They're like, yeah. And I was like, what's Team Crawford? And I'm just talking to her. And she goes, oh, that's my son's name. And, you know, he's been going to Brighton Center for 6 years or whatever. And I said, oh, awesome. I said, do you know Louisa? And she goes, you're Colin. And I was like, I am Colin. Nice to meet you. She knew exactly who I was because I talked to her. Otherwise, I would have gotten up, hit my ball, and gone about the way. She had no clue who I was. So now I know Crawford's mom. So how did I meet her? How do you meet people, right? You just talk to them. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
I thought that was a sweet little article.
So
That
do
is
you agree with
very
the door knocking, like what you were mentioning about how you have to go door knock your neighbors? I don't know. I'm just different. So I just sometimes think people get annoyed by things. And so I'm like, I'll just leave it on their doorstep. They know who I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, maybe that's just my small town mentality too. Like I grew up in Seguin and like, I feel like just, oh, people know who I am. It's fine. And like, I live in Pleasanton and I mean, there's, you know,
Well,
there's
depends
not that
on
big, but
how you go about doing it. I think if you go about doing it salesy, you're going to lose.
Oh, I
My
don't know
last-
how to be a salesman. I mean, it's like, it's embarrassing. I can't sell.
oh,
I don't
Well,
try to sell. That's
so-
just it.
the quick story, it's probably a little longer than I want it to be, but the last company I worked for, I did fundraising for schools. I met all of the school people. Have I told you all my school idea yet?
Well,
I
I
know
know
that.
your I know your history. I don't know what your school idea is.
So a couple things came out of this. So I used to work with schools doing fundraisers. I know every single principal in the city of San Antonio. That's why earlier I knew that was probably Franz Elementary. Okay, because I just know these areas like that. I know them by school. Okay.
Sparky.
When I go over there to put my sign in the yard, I'm going to go knock on the school's door and go say hello to Barbara, the principal there. Okay. I'm going to tell Barbara, I know what's going to happen. I haven't seen you in a while, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, well, I stopped doing it. But I'm a realtor now. Can I come buy your lunch, your faculty lunch someday? Okay. I've already done it to probably 5 or 6 schools. I've got about 200 more to do it with. I'm going to go out and buy lunch for your school. Okay. What are you going to do? I just want to introduce myself, tell them what I'm doing now, because these people all know me, at least by face, maybe not by name.
Okay, we're gonna change.
I went by a school the other day. One of the principals that I love, she changed school, and I had a bunch of leftover like soccer balls and stuff. And I took a bag full of balls, like soccer balls, basketballs, and I took it over to her. I was like, because the school she moved to is a real low socioeconomic. I was like, hey, Deidre, I brought you, I had these left over.
I gotta
from
go,
some
guys.
things. Bye, guys.
I can.
I thought you would, appreciate them here. She's like, oh my God, we need stuff so bad. And I was like, and we talked for a little bit. And I was like, hey, can I buy your faculty lunch? She goes, as soon as we have a faculty meeting, you're in. Because I'm bringing value, right? I'm like, hey, because when they have a faculty meeting, they want to feed them. And she didn't want to have to pay for it out of her budget. Let me do it, okay? And if it's after school, I'm not buying them filet mignon. I'm buying them ice cream sandwiches and sodas, right? I'm going to spend $50 and we're good to go. I'm going to run by Costco on the way over. It's going to be real easy for me to do it. And I'm going to get up there. Hey, what's going on? I used to be an educator. I'm doing real estate. If you're confused, scared, have questions, just let me know. I'm here for that. It's real low key. So that being said, door knocking. The company that I worked for, the parent company, is actually a door-to-door sales company that would sell books door-to-door. And so a lot of people that worked for my company in college would sell door-to-door. And then once they graduated college, they'd come work for us. And we had a lot of book guys. They sold book. We call them book guys. And they were really bad at selling to teachers because they did not realize when they went and knocked on that teacher's door, it's not a one and done. If they tell you to shove off, you cannot take it personally, and you have to maintain the relationship. A lot of them would not try and build a relationship. That was my first step, because I know most people will not make a decision today about a fundraiser. Same thing, when you go knock on people's doors, most people are not going to make a decision today about selling their house, right? So all I did was just go in there. Hi, my name's Colin. I wanted to introduce myself, right? I'm your neighbor 3 doors down. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm kind of new to the neighborhood. We moved here a couple months ago. I just haven't had a chance to get out and say hello to everybody. I've got 2 sons. They're blonde or whatever. And, if they run down the street or they're terrorizing your cat, let me know. I usually crack jokes. If you're not a joke cracker, don't do it. Just say, hey, I just want to let you know we got 2 little boys down the street. If y'all ever, we got a pool, next summer, maybe we get together, right? Just something, build a relationship. And then naturally what's going to happen is they're going to say, oh, what do you do? Ta-da. This is where you interject. Actually, I'm a realtor, right? I'm in charge of the Spring Branch area, which, sure, okay, ta-da, you're in charge. I actually represent, we've got 30 brokers. I'm actually in charge of the Spring Branch area. So if you ever know of anybody, actually, and then I never had my cards in my hand. You know what I mean? I'd be like, hey, here's a card. If anything ever comes up, let me know. It's good to meet you, establish the relationship. I think that's what I'm strong at.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, I can see that. I mean, for me, I printed out, hi neighbors. And then I wrote a little thing just in there saying, this is what I am. This is who I am, kind of whatever. And then, just added some information, my information on a nice piece of flyer. And then I have a card attached to it. And I just feel like I need to get the word out, because there is no brick and mortar other than this stupid Keller Williams brick and mortar that's in our area. And, I'm over it. I'm over Keller Williams and their stronghold. And and that guy, my neighbor, who is Keller Williams. And for me, I just want to I need to get the word out that there's other choices out there for these people. So, I mean, my intention is when I go knock on these people's doors, I'm going to canvas a huge area and whatnot. My son has offered to go with me, but I'm like, I don't know. I mean, they'll probably think don't put this in the thing. They'll probably think we're Bible beaters coming to the door if I have Austin with me. So I'm just kind of.
Well, they're going to think you're selling Boy Scout cookies or whatever. I take my kids with me. My kids are way cuter than I am. You know what I mean?
Well, Austin certainly will go with me. So I'm just like going, okay, I'll just take Austin with me. And we'll go knock on doors.
I think the reason why so many people are intimidated by selling, right? And I've taught so many things about selling, is so many people misunderstand what selling is. It is not trying to cram something down somebody's throat. That is not selling, okay? What selling is establishing a relationship and filling a need. They have a need, and find the need and fill it for them. That's all it was. Now, when I was doing fundraising, it was an easy need. Schools need money, right? So the second need is they need money and they don't want to work hard at it. So once I figured that out, right, it's like a lot of people are like, oh, I need a realtor. I just don't know who to go to, right? Well, that's basically the need right now. And they don't know, most people don't know how to evaluate a realtor, so just get out there and get in front of them. Just like I said, just establish relationships. If nothing else, make a friend.
Yeah. Well, that's my intention.
Oh, I've got a 5-year-old boy too. Awesome. We should get them together sometime. Do you want to meet down at the park? You know what I mean? I'll bring a bottle of wine, That's what we do in our neighborhood, a bunch of drunks. But
no, my neighborhood's not much different.
Yeah, we sit out there, and then what'll end up happening is we'll sit out there drinking wine or drinking beer or whatever, and then the kids are, I'm hungry, and we're having fun talking, so we order pizza, and we're sitting out here bullshitting for a while. And that's how I met all the people in my neighborhood. That's how I got elected to the board. That's why they want me as president, because they know who I am. And it's not necessarily that I'm a special person, but when they come to get ready to sell their house, they're going to let me know. Now, people in my neighborhood don't sell very often, but all the people that are selling the old ones, which are not really the people that I know, but this is how I get the referrals. It's always somebody referring.
Okay. Yeah. I'm getting there, but yeah, I mean, it's just, it takes a lot. I'm trying to figure out where to invest my money to advertise, like Google, you can do Google ads and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to figure out that. And
I
I
think
know
it's
door to door does work.
I think it's more time than money.
Yeah.
Be in front of people. The more time you're, especially when you're slow. With my job, with this job, with any sales job, you need to be out and about. If you're not out and about, if you don't have anywhere to be, find somewhere to be. You're not going to meet anybody sitting here. I don't care. Like, think about it for a hot minute. How many Coca-Cola billboards do you see? How many? It's like, I've never seen a Coca-Cola billboard and go, damn, I want a Coke. It doesn't happen. But what that is brand recognition. It's a different kind of marketing entirely. Even like with insurance. I mean, I just changed insurance. I was with USAA for 22 years. How many times have you seen insurance commercials? And how often did you actually pick up the phone and go, I wonder if? No, there was a catalyst. USA pissed me off. Okay. And I'm like, I'm done. And did I go, I've seen a lot of Progressive commercials. I'm sure they're good. Nope. I called a buddy of mine who's a broker. He went through all of them. He goes, Progressive's your cheapest option with the highest ratings. I said, perfect, sign me up. That's how it happened. I got a referral from somebody. Yeah, be careful with marketing. It's very, very different, especially with us. After a while, you want brand recognition. So at White Line, that's what we're pushing for. Like, that's what me, Eric, and Ryan talk about is brand recognition.
Well,
how do we get hats on everybody we know? How do we get billboards up as much as we can?
Well, that's just it. For me, it's like, I've made cups that are not Hydro Flasks because these suckers are way too expensive for me right now at this point in juncture. But I have some mugs and I have White Line on it. And then all I have on there is my phone number, to give to clients and stuff like that. So I'm trying to.
What I would do with those is I'd keep about 10 of them in my car at all times.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. And I do. And that's where they are.
I
Along with
wouldn't hand
keychains.
them out. I wouldn't just go around going, here's a cup. That's weird.
No.
Okay. When I'm hanging out in the park with somebody and their kid goes, I'm thirsty, blah, blah, blah. Hey, hold on a second. And I go get a cup and a bottle of water and go, hey, here you go, and say, oh, and I'd say, keep it. You know what I mean? It's for promotion anyway. Not make a deal like that. Eric gets mad at me because he buys hats and he gives me about 10 of them. And then yesterday at the golf tournament, perfect example. Yesterday, I'm at the golf tournament. We were all supposed to wear the same thing because it was whatever, it doesn't matter. One of my buddies is a golf, he makes golf attire. So he wanted to promote, one guy represents a company in my team and another guy makes his own. So we wore his shirt and then the other guy that makes his hat. So we were all wearing the same hat. And when we got to the truck, I had a stack of hats in the truck. And my buddy goes, hey, can I have one of those White Line hats? I'm like, absolutely, man. I'm working towards brand recognition. You need to work on relationships.
Yeah.
Because I have the relationships. I've got all that going, especially if you're new to an area, you've got to work on relationships. The only way you can do that is go out there, knock on doors. Hey, what's going on? Just want to introduce myself. I don't want to introduce myself as a realtor. I'm your neighbor. That is a lot less scary. Do it on a Saturday, 7 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Well, do it on a Saturday.
I was like, I can't do it in the middle of the day on a Wednesday.
It's chicken shit, right? If you're gonna do it,
right? It is chicken. It's chicken. It's total chicken.
Yeah. Don't be chicken about it, but go in there with the intent not to be a realtor. Go in there with the intent to be a neighbor.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm your neighbor. I live 3 doors down. I just want to introduce yourself. We've had, what I mean? This is my son. If you're toting them around, whatever, they're gonna get bored. I think you've got younger ones, right?
No, I just have one. Austin, he's 11.
Okay, yeah, take him with you.
He's older.
Give him a basketball and a skateboard.
He's fully invested. He wears his White Line hat all the time. He's in it. He wants me to be super successful, super rich, so we can get an Audi R8. That's his aspiration in life, right there.
There you go.
I'm like, going, babe, I just want to get you through college. Let's figure that out.
So you've got the right idea. Just don't be scared. Like I said, there was a saying that we used to say all the time. It's hard to be nervous if your mind's on service.
That's a good one, because that's truly what it is. And that's partly why, that's a good, if I just focus on the reason why I became a real estate agent, which is because I really felt like the ones that I've used, I've had good and I've had bad. and stuff like that. And so I just really, honestly, I just want to be a resource to someone. That's really what it boils down to.
And you know what? And the next thing is what I would tell all the new people is if they ask you a hard question, say, man, I've got a great team behind it. I was like, if there's anything you need, you know what I mean? I tell people all the time, all my marketing always says, if you're buying, selling, or investing, because I'm trying to hit 3 different markets here. It's like, just call and ask me the question. I don't care.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll get it. I'll get it done. I'll take
Knock it
care of
out.
it. But thank you for walking me through the Sabre thing, because that actually was really good. Because I know we've done it once before, but it was kind of in a different capacity. This was actually one that you actually had to input. So I think there was a lot more information. I don't know. It was a good one.
Cool. All right. Well, have a good day. I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat.
I know. Me too. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Colin.